wanting to be a professional wrestler and becoming a professional wrestler are two different things. How did you becoming a professional wrestler happen?
That's an interesting story because it would never, ever be anybody in professional wrestling that got in professional wrestling the same way that I got in, because it's never been done and it hasn't been done since. And first of all, I was a trainer at Tampa Fitness Center in Florida, and a lot of the wrestlers used to work out there, and I got to be friends with this guy called Jerry Gray. He was what they call a jobber. At that point in time, Jerry Gray became friends with me, and I used to go over to his house, and we would do wrestling in his pool, you know, and that's how it started. And one day he told me where to get my boots and tights made, so I got some boots and tights made. And I was smart enough to watch Southwest Championship Wrestling on USA Cable. That was the first wrestling show that was shown nationally, and a lot of people don't know that at that time, but Joe Blanchard, Father of Tully Blanchard, ran Southwest Championship Wrestling. So I called up Bill Apter because I had like about 500 stacks of magazines inside wrestling magazines, and I got Bill Apter's phone number, and I called Bill Apter up. By that time, I had taken some pictures in my brand new boots that I had ordered in wrestling tights, and I sent him some 8x10s. And at that time, there was no tapes to be sent. You sent 8x10s. So I sent him some 8x10s, and to my surprise, he called me back and said, I think you would have a great career in wrestling. You got a good body. He said, you're good looking. He said, you got an amateur wrestling kid, because at that time, I had wrestled in high school and won the state like 3 years straight. And he said, I think you'll have a good career. He gave me some promoters' addresses and phone numbers to call. So me watching Southwest Championship Wrestling, I noticed that they hadn't had a black wrestler on the show. So I said, that would be the place for me to go. And I called up Joe Blanchard. They gave me the address. I sent him the 8x10s. And he called me a few weeks later. And, oh, by the way, I had lied on the 8x10s that I had wrestled for 2 years. I had put down some shit-ass promotions that he could never check out, like East Coast Wrestling and Johnny Hunter promoter and shit that he couldn't come up and check out. Never wrestled a lick, never been trained. And he called me up one day sitting in my living room in St. Petersburg, Florida. And my real name, by the way, is Frederick Seawright. And he said, Fred, he said, we got your pictures, and we think you will have a good career here for us. We need a black wrestler to come in. We hadn't had one here in a few years. And he said, can you start May 2nd? This was in 1982. And I'm being, real cool about it. I'm really pinching myself. Damn, Joe Blanchard on the phone. Joe Blanchard talking to me. Tully Blanchard daddy. Shit. I said, yeah, I can start May 2nd. What kind of money we talking about? He said, we'll give you a guarantee of about $200 a night. He said, you think you can make it off of that? He said, when we get built up and you get over, he said, we'll give you a little more. I said, $200 a night? I said, yeah, I can make that work. He said, okay, I'll see you May 2nd. He said, just keep in shape. And then he said, I'll see you May 2nd. I hung up the phone. I went and did a double damn kick. If I could have did a double flip, I would have done that. And I said, I finally made it. I finally got it. I got the chance to go. Not knowing, what was really professional wrestling was all about. You taking in mind an amateur wrestler. I'm thinking, okay, I got to go to, San Antonio and deal with Bobby Jaggers, King Konga there, who was later known as, what's his name? The Barbarian. You had Sweet Brown Sugar came in for a shot or two. They had a lot of Mexican guys, Eric Embry. But anyway, I went back to the gym, and I was telling all the guys that came in that I had a starting date with Southwest Championship Wrestling. Well, being the rivers that wrestlers are, none of the guys smartened me up and told me, the shit is all, set up. It's predetermined. We know who's going to win. And they let me think that, everything was legit, because I guess they thought it would be a big kick for me to go down and not be trained and to get in the ring. Well, nobody smartened me up, not even Jerry Gray. And I just remember Jack Briscoe telling me, Fred, when you go down there, just beware, because they pull a lot of ribs on the young guys. A lot of ribs on the young guys, so just look out. But nobody smartened me up. So, make a long story short, I wound up in San Antonio, And the first night I was there, they was doing TV in this place called The Junction. And they didn't put me in the ring that night. They put me on the microphone to talk. Well, at that point in time, I was never microphone shy because I had did a little DJing, so I was always comfortable with the mic. And I did a generic interview saying I was glad to be here and I'm going due north straight up to the top and yada, yada, yada. And they got a nut off that. They thought that they had some money in their hands. Okay, so I did good on the interview. But the next night, Steve Sachs came to me. I'm in the dressing room putting on my brand new boots that I never wore in the ring except for in my backyard on a mattress. And he goes, by that time, Joe Blanchard had came up with the name Brickhouse. You know, we came up with it together because one day we was talking and he said, son, he said, say your name out loud, just like you're getting ready to wrestle. I go, from Miami, Florida, 230 pounds, Frederick Seawright. He said, that shit sounds like a loser. That's flat as a day-old soda. It got no fears. Nobody believe in you. He said, you're built like a brick shit house. What goes with Brick House? And we thought, and we came up with Brown. So that's how Brick House Brown came out. But anyway, Steve Sachs came over to me as I'm lacing up my boots, and he goes, Brick House? He said, we got you in the semi-main event tonight with Bobby Jaggers. He's our Southwest champion. He said, we're going to build you up to be our black superstar here. He said, you throw drop kicks? Well, I knew what a drop kick was. I said, yeah. I'm lacing up my boots. He said, okay. He said, we're going to make you a drop kick specialist. He said, when the guys come in the ring, we're going to send some guys down to the ring, and you drop kick every son of a bitch come to the ring. And Bobby Jaggers got a manager called Don Carson. He's going to come in the ring. And he said, you drop kick him, he drops the gimmick, you pick it up, you nail him, you nail Bobby Jaggers. And by that time, some of the heels gets down, and we'll send some baby faces out and have a big samage. And that's how we're going to bring you in. We're going to start an issue with you and Bobby Jaggers. He said, you got that? And I'm listening to him. I had no idea what a fucking finish was. You know what I'm saying? So me being, you know, the guy that I was from amateur wrestling, I said, yeah, Steve, I got it. And then when he left, that light bulb went off in my head. What Jack Briscoe had told me in Florida. Ding, 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 ding. This one of them damn ribs. They want me to go out there and be stupid and let this son of a bitch do all this to me? Okay, I'm going to fuck this up. So I go out to the ring. I mean, it's a packed house. I'm in the Hemisphere Arena. I'm looking at Bobby Jaggers, and this is the guy that I've been seeing on Southwest Wrestling, been hanging motherfuckers with noose, you know, throwing them over the ropes and hanging them with a noose, hitting them with cowbells, about 280 pounds at that time, maybe 300. And I'm going, this big son of a bitch ain't going to hang me. You know, I got another thing for it. I was half-ass scared of him, and I say, shit, but it's going to be tough. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking the shit was legit. So we lock up, and the first time that we lock up, he started bitching. Jesus Christ, loosen up, you fucking crowbar. You know, and I had no idea what he was talking about. You know, I didn't know the terminology. So I grabbed him in a headlock because that's an amateur move, a shoot amateur move. I grabbed him in a headlock, and he called a spot. A simple spot. You can't fuck it up if you try it. He goes, one tackle, drop down, get it again. So simple. I mean, how the fuck can you mess that up? Well, he goes to shoot me off. And I hang on to that damn headlock, and it's a cross-face headlock, shoot across the ear and the nose, and I'm cinching down tight. He goes, one tackle, drop down, get it in, go to shoot me off again. I wouldn't budge. I'm cinching down even tighter. Then he's getting pissed. He said, one fucking tackle, drop fucking down, and get it a fucking in. And I flip him over, man, and I said, why the fuck should I do what you say when this headlock working so well? I swear to God, this is a true thing, right? So I'm got him down there. He's squealing like a pig because I'm cinching back on that fucking headlock, and for all I'm worth, you know, because I'm kind of half-ass scared to let his big ass up. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I finally get him up, flip him back over, and hook him in a damn chicken wing. And he goes squealing like a fucking pig. And I'm saying, this is the Southwest champion. This motherfucker like Hubba Bubba. Not a speck of trouble. This is easy fucking work. And he's squealing like a pig, and I'm cinching back on that damn chicken wing. And Jack Helm, the referee, come over to him, and I'm thinking, you know, it's going to be over. They're going to ring the bell in a minute because he's about to tap out, right? So Jack Helm comes over like he's making a count. He goes, Brickhouse, what are you doing? I said, shit, I'm winning this belt. This is for the Southwest title.